when I think about the next season of my life, instead of thinking of being the CEO of our company or some title like that, I think in terms of being Chief Life Officer. This sense of being responsible to think carefully about planning the next season of my life and to begin with the end in mind. And one way to get at that is to think about your 80th birthday and assume that you're in a situation where your spouse is taking you out for dinner and you think it's just you and him or her, and you are planning just a romantic meal out to celebrate. Here you are at a restaurant, and lo and behold, your closest friends and family are all around. Unexpectedly, they are asked to come up front, if they feel comfortable, and share three things about their observation of you, what they admire most about you, the difference you made in their personal life, and the difference they see you made in this world, what they saw as your calling or your mission statement. And so I would encourage you to take time and stop and think deeply about that question. What would be the qualities that you want them to see and experience in your life that even your grandkids would say represent who you are? And then what is the impact that you have made? And how have they observed it? And whose lives did you touch? How did you make their lives better? And what's the legacy? Not only what you've left behind, but what legacy did you live out? What were the things that they're going to remember that have shaped their life? So think deeply about your 80th birthday. Write down your answers, and then think about what are the implications. Based on my vision for my 80th birthday party, what do I need to stop doing? What should I start doing? And what should I do differently? Now, there's another way that I think deeply about a long-term vision for my life, and that is what I would call long-term metrics. You know how you would never build a strategy for a business if you didn't have clear metrics of what a win looks like? What would a win look like in your life? So one way to get at that is to visualize that you and I are sitting on a bench 30 years from now. And I say to you, wow, those 30 years went so fast. How did it go for you? And you stop and you look off in the distance and you kind of forget that I'm there, and you're lost in your thoughts and you're scrolling down deep in the back of your mind about the last 30 years. And then you look me in the eyes and you say, you're not going to believe it. It went perfectly. What would be those things that you scroll through in the back of your mind to draw that conclusion? I call those long-term metrics. Now, just decouple in your mind from what you want to measure or what you want to see as a result from how you'd measure it. Some of the things in my life that are clear long-term metrics for the last 20 plus years are hard to measure. Some are simple to measure. The long-term metrics in my life that I've carried in my wallet for years and years now are that I would have worshiped God every day. That's a huge source of joy in my life. It's binary. I either did or I didn't. I would have become someone who gives liberally or extravagantly. Well, it's easy to measure. I would have made a deep, intimate relationship, starting with Linda and the kids and grandkids and those I love extravagantly. I would have made a leveraged impact as a thought leader, 100x impact as a thought leader, helping people get clear, get free, and get going. I would stay in top shape physically, and I would spend my life surrounded by beauty. Now, the interesting thing is our kids have known those six things for many years. And when our daughter Carolyn went off to Europe to be a missionary with Campus Crusade, I took her to the airport. It was a happy, sad moment. Happy because she's doing what she's called to do. Sad because my little girl is moving across the ocean. But after we got her checked in, she said, Dad, there's one last thing I want to say to you is, you know how you've carried those long-term desires in your wallet for all these years? She said, here's mine. And would you carry them? Here are my long-term metrics. Would you carry them in your wallet? And so even today, I've got Carrie's long-term metrics right here in my wallet. And that is truly priceless. And you can see how living with intentionality is infectious. It spreads through your family. And so my encouragement to you is give careful thought to what you want long-term, and turn it into something specific that's written down, and keep it around you in a way that's memorable. Every time when I stand in line to check in at the airport, instead of just getting frustrated by how long the line is, I take the opportunity to pull out of my wallet those long-term desires in my life, and I ask a simple question. Am I living my life in alignment with my own long-term desired results? And it's a little bit like whack-a-mole. Invariably, something's out of whack. And all I'm trying to do is make small adjustments to stay in line with what I feel God's put on my heart for the long-term vision for my family and for me.